Good Friday afternoon, evening, wherever you might be. In my case, still morning. It's still morning where I am now.
I don't know what you're doing. Oh, look, you turned on the monitor behind you. Now you have colorful wheels. Yes,
I have colorful. Yeah, I've got, here, I'll go into full screen. So I have trees. I made the light screen too because it made sense. Oh, now you're standing up. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
How you doing?
I just came back from biking. I'm still sweaty and see, this is not normally a shirt.
How many clicks did you get in today?
Clicks? What's click?
Kilometers.
50, give or take. I'm in terrible shape, so that's why I go alone. I cannot go with the group.
But yet you still did 50 kilometers?
Yes. I mean, my neighbor is 10 years older and goes like 100 kilometers, so.
Okay, well, that just seems like a really long ways. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just because I'm used to walking and thinking of walking 50 kilometers would be just unbearable.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if I could not go further with the bike than somebody walking, then I would be in serious trouble.
Yeah. Hi, by the way, my name is Darren. This over here is Victor, and we're the host of a podcast called DevOps Paradox. That releases on Wednesdays at 6 a.m. Eastern. And on Fridays when we're around, which we're going to be around for a while, we get together and just talk about news of the week and any questions you might have, because there was no news this week.
No
I
news?
really think, there was a little bit, but very little. I think everybody's going into hibernation mode now for KubeCon. Or they're still trying to figure out what AI stuff that their people bought that they're trying to figure out how to use.
Exactly. It's been, I'm not exaggerating if I say that every new thing that I've seen in last months has somewhere kind of information that is retrieved from ChatGPT.
Yeah. And we'll talk about it. Karen, good to see you. TL, good to see you from Portugal. He said Victor's mic was a little bit low, but I think it's okay right now.
Yeah?
Karen called us out last week. By the way, yeah, okay, so last week, because it was my first week getting this rig set up, I forgot I had a button that says set mic level to 75%. And it's right here in front of me. So I did that today. So hopefully my levels are fine. So I've got back into normal. Because when I went and actually looked at the input, it was down like at 25%. So, who knows? I just don't know what's going on with the news. There's just nothing going on. Either that, because I'm still looking at all my same data sources.
Thank you for watching. See you next week.
Okay, thanks, Andy. Well, we do have a couple of things. One is very self-serving, which we'll get to in just a minute. Let me go ahead and pull up the news here. This week's podcast was a review of a Nirmata blog post about what was the name of it? What is Policy as Code? Top 10 reasons why Policy as Code is essential for cloud native success. Yes, I stole it for the podcast title too. So there you go. We lost Victor. Okay, that's fine. He'll be back in a minute. So with the podcast, we were just reviewing the blog post, going through. What we found is it felt like they were just going in all sorts of different directions. Now, I'm assuming that everybody's here. Hey, Ingen, how you doing? So I know I'm still here. It's just Victor that's gone. Good. Again, new place, new internet, big mess still. And with this podcast, we just tried to dig into it and come up with what we agreed with, what we didn't agree with. So anyway, podcasts come out on Wednesdays, 6 a.m. Eastern. And when Victor gets back, we will get him back in. What's everybody else up to? What's your summer been like? I mean, we're starting to get into fall. I've got a friend coming into town he's actually a weather guy, like TV weather guy. And he's coming in for a big conference this week. So I'm excited about seeing him. But did anybody go do any cool conferences, take a cool vacation? What do you think? Put it over in the chat. One of the self-serving items that we have is the DevOps Dozen is open for nominations. Now, I'm going to pull up my notes here real quick. And this is DevOpsDozen.com. in 2022, Victor won for the DevOps Toolkit YouTube channel. Last year, in 2023, we won for the DevOps Paradox podcast, so that was audio only. The items have changed this year. There he is. Was that you or me? I'm hoping it was.
That was me.
You.
That
Okay,
was me.
good.
I had to leave for a second. That's
Okay.
okay. I mean, not okay, but yeah.
It's fine. Okay, good. So I'm going into DevOps Dozen right now. Again, 2022 was you for the YouTube channel. Last year, the podcast, audio only. They've changed the community awards this year. So here are the what people can be nominated for. So here we go. Top DevOps Community Evangelist. Go nominate Victor. That's number one. I'm just going to say it. Go nominate Victor for that. And I think we ought to go ahead and nominate Whitney for this too. And we'll figure
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I mean, I
Whitney.
already have one. No need for me. Whitney.
Yeah. So that's Whitney. And then the other one that we sort of fall into is this best DevOps related video or audio podcast. In the past 2 years or past number of years, those have been separate awards. This year they've put them together. So we won last year, so more than likely we wouldn't be able to win this year. I mean, still go ahead and nominate us. We'd appreciate it. Nominate DevOps Toolkit, Victor's YouTube channel, and also nominate Whitney's Enlightening channel, which I don't have the handle for that one. In fact, she has a show going on right now as well. Otherwise, there. Here's the reason why I think. Best application of AI in DevOps practices. That's a new award. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. That's all I'm going to say about that. I just don't know. I don't know. But then the others were pretty much normal too, of innovative open source project. Always vote for Jenkins. Always nominate Jenkins just because. Always go ahead and nominate Crossplane because it's there, right? We'll be very biased about this, and that's okay. Again, these are the nominations, right? We're all friends right now, but it's when the voting starts. That's when the gloves come out, and then the other things. Now, tools and services. If you work for a company, if you want to win in that category, you got to pay. So that's pay to play. Community awards, there's no pay to play. And I've told you what we would like you to go ahead and nominate, but bottom line is, if you want to nominate something else, go nominate somebody else. That's fine. But now nominations are open until, where is it? Here we go, right here. Okay. Nominations are good through October 18th. So basically a month. Then voting will start on November 11th. Voting ends on New Year's Eve. And then sometime in January, they'll announce. It's that time of year. It was funny because it's about this time of year when DevOps Dozen starts their stuff. And I went and looked, and it was on that day that they had actually posted. So that's our shameless plug for today. Again, if you got other people to nominate, please do. But we want to go ahead and throw Whitney in now because Whitney is part of our strange little family in a very, very strange way. So, okay. Again, I said there was not much news this week. That's literal. If you can actually see the top, you can see there are 4 tabs in the top of that window because there was no news this week. None. Nobody got bought. Well, there were a couple of people that got bought, but not that we would care about. But I saw this. Things to do in Salt Lake City because you're going to be going there in about 2 months. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So first thing you do is you start with a Utah thing. Go to a soda shop.
That thing.
Go to a soda
okay.
shop. Swig. We actually have Swigs here in Texas. It's basically literally a soda shop. You go and order whatever kind of soda that you want.
Okay.
Just soda.
I did not even know that there is such a thing as soda shop. So it's kind of Coke,
Yeah.
Fanta, and what's not.
Yep. But then they also have arrays of, this is what I haven't tried out yet. So my daughter and I are going to probably go do this maybe this weekend. We have a wide array of dirty soda places. Think Coke Zero plus half and half, like milk, half and half, plus raspberry puree. I'm not, I'm willing to try
I'm
something.
not convinced about that one.
That's sort of where I'm at here too. Local coffee, take a day or a half day trip because all of the national parks, state parks could be interesting. I mean, too bad you can't take your bike. That would be a lot of fun. So
Oh yeah, I should take a bike.
you probably
I
rent
know
one.
that. Yeah, with Engin, are you coming? If you're coming, let's rent a bike.
There you go. Because then just get outside, because it still should be, let's see, when was that? November what? When is it? When is it? When is it? November 12th through 15th. Okay.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's a chance of snow. There's always a chance of snow. Yep. Engin says, let's rent a bike.
Yeah, okay, Engin, it's a deal. Just make sure to come at least day before the KubeCon starts.
Go hiking, rock climbing, dinosaurs, Natural History Museum of Utah. And then they talk about Silicon Slopes. Again, not Silicon Valley, but Silicon Slopes, because that's what Utah is now. But anyway, or Salt Lake in specific. Again, get you a soda. I don't know about the dirty soda. That's that. I'm not sure.
You know, when you read Dirty Soda before you explained, I thought, okay, so that's basically we're talking gin tonic, right? Tonic is a soda and gin makes it dirty, but obviously I was wrong.
Raspberry Puree. Andy says he grew up in Salt Lake, and even KubeCon isn't enough to tempt me back. I understand.
But that's because you've been there. I haven't been there. Like, I would say the same thing for Belgrade, right? Not much chance I'm going there, right? I was born there, but that does not mean that if you've never been there, it's not interesting to see it.
Exactly. Well, like I would go to Belgrade, probably, because I've never been there either. So it's like the first time I went to Prague. Never been to Prague. Very cool place to go to once. Don't feel like I ever need to go back to Prague. I mean, it would be nice to go back, but it's not like I need to go back.
If you didn't say Prague, I would have thought that you're describing Las Vegas now. Very cool city. No need to go twice.
No need to go twice. I question if there's even a need to go once.
You have to see. You cannot say I've never been in Las Vegas, man. You have to.
You need to once.
Yeah.
Just once. That's it. Then your video this week was about using Roadie with Backstage, which Roadie is also out of Spotify as well, right?
I don't know where people come from, whether they're from Spotify, but yeah, it's a SaaS version of Backstage, let's say.
Right.
I'll probably do. I mean, I'm not very fond of Backstage myself, but people tend to love it and ask for it, so I'll probably make a series of videos about Backstage. And then you will hear me complaining a lot at the same time.
About Backstage. Yeah, okay. That was it for this week. I've been looking and looking and looking, and there's just not much going on. I don't know are people just now coming back from vacation? Are we just in that lull right now? To where, could it be that? Do you know? Somebody asked us a question. It'll take about 5 seconds for me to hear that come back. Ask a question. Ask us anything, because today's a good day to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's been very interesting. Before the move, I could tell stuff was starting to sort of slow down. But it's summertime.
It's the end of summer, right?
It's the end of summer.
Whoever wanted to do something in summer, apart from making a mistake, announcing anything in summer, is especially not going to do it at the end. I wouldn't be surprised that now, September is starting. Now we're going to see a bit more.
It'll start leaking out probably next week of where.
Yeah, and then we will see a break in October, and then KubeCon.
And then
let me tell you a little secret. No, almost nobody has anything special to announce in KubeCon. KubeCon is basically about mature projects already.
Well, with Kubernetes officially being 10 years old this year.
Yeah,
right?
Kubernetes is 10 years old, and I don't see much innovation in that space, which sounds like a bad thing, but actually it's not, right? Kind of, okay, it's mature. We know what to do, right? Kind of, we know which networking to choose, which storage to choose, and so on and so forth.
What is the next big thing that could change? You mentioned storage. Storage is still like a
So
black box to me.
You don't have two big things happening at the same time. Now we're in an AI bubble that will burst. When I say burst, everybody thinks kind of like it will fail. It will not fail. There will be, whenever a bubble bursts, that means that there are a couple of companies who actually figured it out. Like .com, when it burst, actually, that's when we got AWS and Google's of the world, right? So it will burst, and then we will see a new wave, and nobody knows what's coming after that.
I was thinking about the dot bomb time. I've been reminiscing recently. I guess it's just part of aging. I was thinking about that transition from
.com, you mean?
.com, yeah. About the craziness that was 99 and 2000, and how much money was being thrown around, and the way that money is being thrown around now for AI is orders of magnitude worse than the money that was being thrown around in 2000.
Yeah, but you know what's special is that I feel that we never had such imbalance between what VCs are asking for and what people might need, right? There was always that difference, kind of, VCs ask for this, and then we're going to do this so that we get VC money, but then people ask for this. Now I have a feeling that all the companies are just focused on what VCs are asking for, not really even thinking about what people might need. I mean, look at the iPhone, kind of like. This is the first time we got the iPhone without new software. Never happened before in Apple history, kind of, that you have a product that doesn't have a matching software.
But it does have buttons.
It has buttons and a promise that some AI will come sometime in the future. Yeah. We don't know when, we don't know what.
To me, that sounds actually pretty darn good. Because I'd rather know that we don't know when and what, but I know it's coming. It's like, okay, fine. If it takes 3 years, great. Whatever.
Yes, sure, but I'm not buying iPhone because of the promise of something that will happen in the future.
No. Right? I'm buying an iPhone because I'm still running, my wife's probably going to be the next one. I don't know if I'm going to get her a 16 or not. She's still running an 8.
Okay, I mean, that's good enough reason to buy. But if you're 14, 15, kind of, are you going to buy it because sometime in the future, before or after the 17 version is released, you will get some software that will make it worthwhile? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's. Ingen was already answering it. Andy's question here: Knative or Kata? Start with Knative for the scale to 0, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. Or if Kata might be worth exploring.
I mean, so Knative works or is about to start working with Kata, right? They're very different things. Knative is like, it's almost like a wrapper around things, including how we scale things, right? Like Kata alone, so let's put it this way. If you want to scale to 0, you cannot use Kata alone. You can scale to 0 with Kata, but then there is nothing to intercept requests and say, I'm going to queue it until I spin up a pod and then let it pass through and stuff like that. So you cannot just rely on Kata if you're scaling to 0. If you're not scaling to 0, then yes, maybe.
Why would I pick? So ignoring the scale to 0, why would you pick one or the other? Like what would be the plus of Kata versus Knative or Knative versus Kata?
But Knative does more things, right? And it's a wrapper around more things. So traditionally, it uses service mesh, it uses this, it uses that, and among other things, it uses one or few methods to scale pods, right? And that has traditionally been HPA, horizontal pod autoscaler, baked into Kubernetes. And I know that they're working. I'm not sure whether they finished on integrating with Kata as well. But it's a different level. Kata solves a specific problem, scaling. Knative solves, there is Knative itself, but it's also at the same time wrapper. It's a higher level tool, right? It does more.
Okay. Any other questions? I mean, seriously, we've got, we can sit here and answer questions for a while. Or we can just go over and bug Whitney if she's still streaming. I can't remember if she's finished yet or not. Okay. I was chatting with her earlier this morning.
Let's give people 10 seconds to
Yeah.
to type a question. If not, that's a sign that you don't want to know anything from us, and we can just go.
And that's okay.
I can take a shower.
There's a good reason why we are. How far apart are we? A lot of miles, a lot of kilometers apart. We're probably 10,000 kilometers apart. If we were to do the math, I bet.
A lot. I have no idea how much. Probably like a quarter of the globe.
Yeah. And yet we're able to do this. Of course, I did notice you were a little bit out of sync. Oh, let's answer this question.
Okay.
How was KubeCon China?
It's smaller. So Engin has been in KubeCon China last year with us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's smaller than last year. Yeah, noticeably smaller, right? I'm not fond of... So small conference to me is fine. What I don't particularly like is that when you have a small conference and then infinite number of parallel tracks, I think it's just silly. I'm a 2 tracks type of guy, unless we're talking about 10,000 people, right?
Right.
2 tracks just in case, kind of like, right? And then if people don't want to attend any of the 2 tracks at given moment, that means that you made a silly program. It's a bad program, right? No, it's not a problem that you have too few tracks.
But this is your first time to Hong Kong, or no?
First time to Hong Kong. That's why I went. I wanted to see Hong Kong. Yeah.
So let's rephrase it. So how was Hong Kong? Let's talk about that.
So when we went to Hong Kong and then Tokyo, Hong Kong I didn't like much, to be honest. It's a very, 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 very big shopping mall. That's how I describe Hong Kong. Tokyo is much nicer. I like Tokyo much more.
So what I'm hearing is Hong Kong is basically the Las Vegas of China. You needed to go once.
Yeah, except that actually, so when you land in Hong Kong, there are 3 different exits, and depending on which exit you choose, you have different border controls, right? Officially, it's part of China, but you can exit into Hong Kong on the Hong Kong airport, or you can exit towards mainland China, which is a completely different thing, even though it's the same thing. And then you have a 3rd exit for Macau, which again is also part of China, but yet is not part of China. Nobody knows how it works. And Macau is basically Chinese Las Vegas. It's just next door.
Got it.
That's literally kind of gambling capital of Asia, right?
Right. So you need to be careful which one you go out for border control.
They're gonna ask you sufficient number of questions that you will realize that you're mistaken.
In the wrong place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tokyo was good. I love Tokyo.
Tokyo is great. I love Tokyo.
Tokyo is one of those towns that you do want to go back to.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been in Tokyo and I wanted to come back, and I was again there. That's awesome. I've never been into Hong Kong. I've been in Hong Kong now, and I doubt it's not a bad city, just to be clear, right? But I like Shanghai more, right? Probably not going again. Yeah, I've seen it. That's it. I'm not going to Detroit again either.
I hope to never go to Detroit again either, and it's not that far from me. It used to be a 1-hour flight for me. Now it's a 2-hour flight. I think that's fine. Don't need to go.
Yeah, because if it's something in Europe, probably similar like in States, right? I can go 20 times to the same place. That's fine because it's 1-hour flight or 2 hours flight. But if I'm going for 15 or 20 hours flight, then if I've been there, very small chance I'm going to come back. There are too many other places I'm yet to visit.
Yep. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Hopefully there's more news that comes out next week. The podcast next week, coming out on Wednesday, which I haven't started editing yet, and I haven't gotten back ahead, we actually have Brett and Nirmal on. So this is one this is one where I basically get it started and then step away, go shopping, take a nap, come back, and they're still going. So that'll be the show next week. Hopefully it should be a pretty good show. I can't remember what we talked about because it's been a couple of months since we recorded it. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Is there anything else? Your video is not done yet. I don't think. I haven't looked yet today. right? But anyway,
It's done.
you're
It's done, but not uploaded yet.
not uploaded yet. Okay, so that'll be on Monday over on DevOps Toolkit. Wednesday, the podcast, and next Friday we should be back here because I didn't check my calendar yet. Are we here next week?
Yeah.
Are you here? Okay.
And Tuesday is the Choose Your Own Adventure with Whitney. We were supposed to have it this week as well, but the next episode is about hotel and standards, right? Including Prometheus standard. And guess what is happening this week?
That was the
PromCon.
PromCon is this week, yeah.
Yes, okay.
So everybody's there.
Everybody's there. Nobody's coming to our show. Yeah, we had to postpone it.
With my move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I actually went to, you could care less about this, Victor, but I went to the Java users group, Java Mug, and there was a guy there from the Eclipse Foundation talking about Jakarta EE11, which is coming out at some point this year. It looks very interesting. Again, most people don't even care about that, but he ended up doing a little bit of AI because, you have to do AI in every talk. You have to have AI in every product. And it was interesting being in a room. There was probably 3, 6, I don't know. There were probably 25, 30 people there. Reasonable size group. And the hands that went up, it's like, okay, how many people are using Java 17? One hand went up. He figured, okay, well, let me get, how many people are using Java 21? Nobody's hands went up. He went back, it's like, okay, how many people are using Java 11? Like one hand went up. How many people are using Java 8? The rest of the room went up. And they're thinking, he's like, you realize Java 8 is out of support. Well, and then there were still some people using Java 6 too. But it was like Java 8, and they were saying, yeah, but, it works. So why bother?
But so you work with Java, so
yeah,
explain this to me.
Okay.
Or how much wrong I am. Java is notorious for actually moving relatively slow because it wants to maintain backwards compatibility, or at least in my days.
That's reasonable. Yes.
Yeah. So why is it so difficult then to upgrade? I mean, or why? So my brain would say that, again, not based on real current knowledge, that upgrading to newer Java should be easier than in most other languages.
Right.
Precisely because it's very focused on maintaining compatibility, right?
Correct. Most of the time, and I'm going to state it this way. What you're saying is, why are people so slow in updating the JDK that's running their app? Like, not changing the app, just changing out the JDK. Right? That's your question. Exactly. I wish, if I could answer that, I would be a very rich man. Because it makes no sense to me. I mean, there will be some things that break based on not necessarily what Java did, but because the libraries that people are using, or the libraries of the libraries of the libraries that people are using, that did bad things, took advantages of private APIs.
If you run version 8 of something, and what did you say, current is 21 or whatever, I know that it's going to break now. 20 years later, of course it's going to break. But it's beyond me.
Yeah, it's very...
It's similar like Kubernetes. Like if somebody told me, hey, when I run Kubernetes 1.5, I was not very eager to upgrade to 1.6, and I'd say, I understand completely what you mean. I completely understand. But now if you say, hey, I'm afraid to upgrade from 129 to 130, and actually most likely everything works and no problem, and what's not kind of it's stable, I don't understand it. And the same thing for Java.
Yeah. I did see this.
To all those Java users, take Renovate or Dependabot and just kind of like let it roll.
And open rewrite. If you have to actually change code, open write's pretty good. And plus what Karen brought up here about the Amazon Q developer, this is what Amazon did because they're still, you'd be surprised how much Java actually exists inside of all the big tech companies.
I know.
Or you may not be surprised. But they had this magic and it took care of most of their stuff, but I imagine they already had good standards in place to where tools are actually able to help.
Yeah.
And that, without the standards, that's where things can go sideways.
It's not, standards are less important. The most important thing is tests.
Are you
Right.
bringing out
You
the
can have
testing
as-
again?
I mean, you can have as much standard as you want. If it compiles and that's the only thing you do, that's not even close to give me any assurance that it works. You know, if your only validation is it compiles.
Are you trying to steal some more of your book? Is that what this is?
What book?
Didn't you
Java,
write
no.
your Java
I
test
don't know
book?
whether it's available even. I don't know. No. Don't buy that. It's too old. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, but even if it's 20 years old, it's still okay. Right? Because that would have been,
If you're using Java 8,
it's still
get
probably
the
pretty-
book. Get the book. It's written at approximately the same time.
It's okay. DevOps, is it?
I
Okay,
don't
here.
know who- I think it was done north. I might easily be wrong, but somebody said, and that's one of the best sentences I heard, that definition, legacy code is a code without tests.
Yeah. That's a good definition.
Yeah, because that's the situation where you cannot modernize, you cannot upgrade, you cannot do the stuff, right? If you have tests, it's not really a big deal to upgrade.
It shouldn't be.
It fails, and you say, okay, so I shouldn't upgrade now, right? Or
Right.
I should postpone because something doesn't work, is not working. I need to put extra attention to it, maybe next month. Fair enough, right? But at least you upgrade, run tests, and see whether it works.
Yep. And if it doesn't, good. If it does, good. Right?
Yeah.
But both are good. But you have tests. Or you might find, okay, we need to take these tests out. You might need to hopefully you could say, oh, I need to add a few more tests. And then,
I mean, at least you can say, hey, I'm not willing to invest to rewrite parts of my code because of the upgrade. I say, okay, fair enough. Kind of like that's something you keep in a basement. You don't want to touch it. Excellent. But at least upgrade up to the version that works. Or like, so if you're Java 8, you upgrade to 9, it still works, cool, because tests are passing, 10 works, cool, 11 fails. Okay, at least you know what is the maximum you can reach without effort, at least.
your book is still available, by the way.
Okay, it's forgotten by me, so I hope forgotten by others as well.
Let's see. It came out in August of 2015.
Oh, man.
The Kindle is $30. You can get it paperback anywhere from $1.39 to $51. Oh, wait. There's a newer edition here. Let's take a look at the newer edition. Test-driven Java development. There we go. That one came out. That was the revised that came out in 2018.
Can I tell you a secret that I had no idea until now that there is a new version, nor that it was revised. I had no idea. I'm pretty sure it wasn't revised by me.
We got a physical copy of DevOps Toolkit 2.0. That's aged.
Oh, yeah, burn it. Burn it.
Oh, man. Are you ever going to write another book?
I wrote
Not if
one,
you can help it?
I wrote one for Christmas.
What, for this year? Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
last
That was
Christmas I
Crossplane.
wrote Crossplane, yeah.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Backstage. Backstage is next. Hey, I've been learning React, man. You have no idea in what level of pain I'm in right now.
Why are you
I've been
doing React?
Huh?
Why are you doing React?
I feel that part of Backstage is in React.
Oh, because of that. Okay.
I know it's TypeScript, and I need to learn TypeScript as well.
TypeScript itself isn't horrible, but the frameworks on top of it are.
My JavaScript knowledge was back in the day when the best thing you could do was use Angular. And that was, I don't know, maybe Angular is still the best choice. I have no idea. I'm not following, but I'm talking about like 15 years ago.
People will say React is best, but then then you'll have people talk, well, Vue is better or blah, blah, blah. It's like front end, have a nice day. I'm clueless.
What bothers me is it feels, and I'm not an expert. I really spent a day with it, so don't judge me on the. But it feels like those Java frameworks from before. Maybe they're still when it's more about convention than anything else. when you basically put, in the past when we were basically writing more XML for Java, some Java frameworks than Java itself.
That was Spring Framework. Holy cow.
Something like
Or
that.
struts.
So,
yeah.
It feels very much like that.
Yeah. No thanks. No thanks.
I might be wrong, so anybody correct me in comments. I have 1 day of going through it.
Okay. So we'll be back next Friday. So anyway, let's rephrase it here. So Monday is DevOps Toolkit. Tuesday is Choose, which it's about observability. So do you have people coming on that were at PromCon this week?
Yep.
Wednesday's podcast. Thursday's nothing. Have a nice day off. Friday, we'll be back here at the same time next week. All right. Thanks everybody for being here with us live. Anybody watching the replay, thanks. Do all the YouTube things as you walk out the door. And we'll talk to you again next week. And I have to hit the right button because that's what happens here. Oh, okay. There we go.